What's going on, beautiful people? And welcome to a brand new Star Wars lore video, where I say words about Star Wars and you, the magically delicious, listen. I am your speaker of words, SuperCliff, and would you guys do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, because every little bit helps in this crazy, uncanny YouTube world. Alrighty folks, so about a week ago, a little game, you might have heard of it, called Battletoads. Just kidding. Rather, the majestic work of gold, known as KOTOR, was announced. A remake for the classic Star Wars video game, Knights of the Old Republic, was announced as a time exclusive for the PlayStation 5. And yes, when it comes to KOTOR, we can all agree as Star Wars fans and as gamers in general that it's an amazing work of art, its story is phenomenal, everything from its epic world building and lore, the game's central conflict, the Jedi Civil War, the characters of Darth Revan, Bastila Shan, the Old Republic. Legit, everything about this game is fantastic, and it's arguably one of the best Star Wars video games in all of existence. However, with all that being said, in this video, we will not be discussing KOTOR specifically. Rather, we will be covering the event preluding KOTOR, preluding the Jedi Civil War, the event in which served as the catalyst for Revan's fall to the dark side, the Mandalorian Wars. We will be covering the Mandalorian Wars. Thus, without further ado, let's dive into the past and cover the Mandalorian Wars, the road to KOTOR. The Mandalorian Wars were a series of massacres that masked another war, a war of conversion, culminating in a final atrocity that no Jedi could walk away from. During the Old Republic era, the Mandalorian Wars was the term given to the 16-year conflict between the Mandalorian warrior culture and the Galactic Republic. This war is considered to be the most bloodiest military conflict in all of galactic history, and much of this was due to no small part by the Mandalorians' ambitious and ruthless leader, Mandalore the Ultimate. Rumors suggest that he was a Tong warrior, a warrior who claimed the mask of Mandalore the Indomitable following the Mandalorians' defeat after the Great Sith War. However, many have doubted this story to be the case, but regardless of his mysterious background, Mandalore the Ultimate swept through the ranks of the Mandalorians with sheer force, bringing forth massive changes across the Mandalorian culture. Mandalore the Ultimate didn't just lead the Mandalorians. To them, he was veered as a god, a hero, their savior, someone who was set about removing the stains, tainting their past failures. Thus, under the guise of Mandalore the Ultimate, he instituted a new age, forming a generation of Mandalorian warriors known as the Neo-Crusaders. Over time, the Mandalorian ranks swelled with warriors from countless worlds. Eventually, the term Mandalorian began to signify more than just a species. It referred to a warrior culture that defined itself by its devotion to the ideal of earning honor and glory through war and combat. Thus, the Mandalorian Golden Age had begun. The Sith came to us with an offer to fight a worthy enemy in a battle that would be remembered forever. Sometime during the year 3978 BBY, Mandalore the Ultimate was approached by a pure-blood member of the Sith species. This unidentified member of the Sith introduced himself as an emissary of a powerful Sith Lord. It was during their exchange where the emissary managed to convince Mandalore to help him in his search for finding an ancient Sith tomb. However, unbeknownst to Mandalore, the Sith was performing sorcery in order to cloud and invade Mandalore's mind, piercing through him thoughts of temptation, thoughts of power. Eventually, after assisting the emissary with finding the ancient Sith tomb on the frozen ice planet of Rakid, the emissary told Mandalore of a vision that his master had foreseen. According to the Sith, the Mandalorians waged a galactic-wide crusade against the forces of the Galactic Republic, thus carving up a galaxy where the Mandalorians ruled with sheer might and supremacy. The emissary's words electrified Mandalore, and so following his departure, Mandalore returned to Mandalorian space with dreams of invasion and conquest. And so he began to reorganize and marshal the Mandalorian clans in preparation for the upcoming battles, for the upcoming Mandalorian Wars. We started by conquering worlds just outside the Republic. We did it quietly, so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. It was the year 3976 BBY when the Mandalorian Wars began. Now, in order to prepare for the invasion against the Republic itself, the Mandalorians decided to conquer planets residing outside Republic space. Therefore, Mandalore the Ultimate's Crusade made their first attack on the industrialized planet of Alfear III. Here, the Mandalorians, who were led by Canderous Ordo, managed to decimate the Alfeari forces. The Alfeari fleet, approximately 10 times the size of the Mandalorians, was destroyed. 3 years later, the Mandalorians furthered their conquest by launching an invasion against KOTOR, the homeworld to the Cathar species. Mandalore's prime military strategist, Cassius Fett, was tasked with leading the invasion. The attack caught the Cathar people completely off guard. Thousands upon thousands of Cathar were killed in the opening salvos. The battle quickly became a massacre, and with Cassius Fett's basilisk war mounts descending upon the surface, destroying various communication relays in Cathar settlements, the battle was soon over. However, the violence wasn't. Those among the surrounding Cathar people were treated with death, as Cassius herded the surviving Cathar into the ocean, ordering them all to be killed merely for sport. The Battle of Cathar resulted in the deaths of over 90% of the Cathar species, and the current galactic date, the Battle of Cathar, is considered a genocide. Sadly, the Mandalorians didn't stop their conquest with Cathar. Mandalore's forces doubled their efforts and continued to conquer systems outside the Republic for 8 years. Now, unfortunately, the Republic and the Senate were unwilling to intervene against the Mandalorians, simply due to the fact that the Mandalorians were attacking non-Republic affiliated planets. And because the Republic had just finished healing from the damage dealt from the Great Sith War, the Republic wasn't eager to get involved with another galactic-wide war. However, war with the Mandalorians was inevitable, for it was only a matter of time before Mandalore the Ultimate and his warriors launched attacks against Republic-controlled worlds. The prologue is over. We are breaking out on the Outer Rim. And more. The real Mandalorian Wars have begun. Eventually, the war reached a new phase, and the Republic was forced to engage the Mandalorians in combat. This began with the Mandalorians besieging the planet of Taris in the year 3964 BBY, a world crucial to the Republic economy. With the attack on Taris, the Galactic Senate mobilized the entire Republic Navy to counter the Mandalorian threat. And though the Republic forces were successful at the start, they were eventually pushed back, for the Mandalorian Crusade was too much for the Republic to contain. From there, the Mandalorians had begun to hit core worlds. The war had reached the Republic. Now, although the Republic military was currently involved with the Mandalorian Wars, the Jedi were not. The reason for this was quite simple. Many of those among the Jedi Council believed that the Mandalorians were nothing more but a distraction, that they were merely a precursor, a curtain, cloaking and shrouding the true threat, the Sith. However, not everyone in the Order agreed. A young, charismatic Jedi Knight began to speak out against many members of the Order, arguing that it was the Jedi's duty to aid the Republic and to fight against the Mandalorian Crusaders. Eventually, the young Jedi was branded by the Republic's media as some sort of Jedi Crusader. However, the young Jedi's outspoken actions gathered a like-minded following, whom were later dubbed the name the Revengists. One of the first members to join the Jedi's cause was the young Jedi Knight by the name of Alec, who would later take up the name Malak. In time, once the Revengists' following became large enough, charismatic Jedi Knight who donned the name Revan vowed to destroy the Mandalorians and vowed to save the Republic. This was the moment in history when the war began to turn. Yet the question remains to be answered. Was Revan's intervention for better or worse? It was not your ships or your men or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. Revan's strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity, the tenacity, and the subtlety of Revan's plans. In the following weeks, the Revengists joined the Republic military in battling the Mandalorians. Within a short amount of time, Revan quickly won a slew of military victories for the Republic. Revan's intervention also helped forge Republic losses from becoming even larger disasters, such as the case was during the Battle of Duro, where Jedi Revan, Malak, and Mitra Surik directed the Republic fleet and were able to prevent the Mandalorians from escaping with large amounts of war materials from the Duro orbital shipyards. Eventually, it was made clear to the Republic that Revan was a genius, a savior. Therefore, due to political pressure, Supreme Chancellor Tor Kressa appointed Revan as Supreme Commander of the Republic military. However, the Jedi Order was not happy about this, but they sensed that darkness was brewing. a darkness within Revan. Over the course of the years, Revan commanded the Republic Navy to take the offensive against the Mandalorians. During this counteroffensive, the Republic was able to liberate the planet Taris, ending the Mandalorian occupation of the profitable world. During the battle, Revan spearheaded the charge, leading a group of Jedi into battle throughout Taris' Undercity. In doing so, Revan managed to free a group of slaves who were about to be sold on the slave market, one of them being a Force-sensitive KOTOR named Juhani, who was encouraged by one of Revan's compatriots to join the Jedi Order. As Revan and Malak continued to lead the Republic victory after victory, many noticed from both the Republic and the Mandalorians that Revan was starting to adopt moral shortcuts. Rather than approaching a battle strategy where the outcome resulted with having a lesser loss of life, Revan's policies were much more intense. The concept was victory at all costs. Revan was willing to do whatever needed to be done to achieve victory. This, of course, was not the Jedi way. The Mandalorian Wars would eventually reach its end in the year 3960 BBY on the dark planet of Malachor V. 'Twas here where Revan was able to force a final confrontation against the Mandalorians. This was also the battle which saw the deployment of a superweapon, one that had been prepared in secret. The weapon was called the Mass Shadow Generator, a gravitational weapon designed by a skilled Zabrak named Bao-Dur. The weapon was intended to serve towards bringing an end to the conflict. Within the Malachor system, Revan split his forces in two, tasking half the Republic forces to Jedi Mitra Sork, along with tasking her with the activation of the Mass Shadow Generator. Meanwhile, Revan engaged his forces in a massive naval battle against the forces of Mandalore the Ultimate. Realizing that defeat was inevitable, due to Revan's military prowess, Mandalore challenged Revan to single combat aboard his flagship. Revan accepted the challenge and boarded the chieftain's ship, where the two engaged in a duel to the death. The battle was intense. Revan's tactical striking, Mandalore's strength, two titans clashing for the right to rule the galaxy. Yet despite Mandalore's strength, the great Mandalorian leader was eventually outmatched by his Jedi opponent. Revan struck down Mandalore. Revan defeated Mandalore the Ultimate. Dying at his feet, Mandalore revealed on how the Sith manipulated him, promising visions of conquest and supremacy. Thus, moments before his death, he gave Revan the coordinates of the planet Rakide in order to prove his story. 'Twas then in that moment when Mandalore the Ultimate had died. Revan picked up Mandalore's mask, the symbol of the Mandalorian leadership, and took it as his spoils of war, whilst preventing a new Mandalore from being chosen ever again. However, the war was not over. Not yet. With the death of Mandalore the Ultimate, the Mandalorian forces were in complete disarray. Thus, Revan prompted Surik to activate the Mass Shadow Generator. With both Revan and Surik's ships out of the weapon's range, they watched in horror as a majority of the Mandalorian fleet and a part of the Republic fleet were drawn towards the planet into a massive gravity vortex. Tens upon tens of thousands died. Hundreds of vessels collided with Malachor's surface. A once lush world was now devastated. But alas, the Mandalorian Wars were now over. The Republic had won. However, many historians would suggest that this victory was by and large short-lived. For despite his good intentions, Revan's victory in the Mandalorian Wars was simply that of a starting point, a catalyst for Revan's journey towards the dark side. And that, folks, will conclude this video. So tell me, are you looking forward towards KOTOR Remastered? What are you guys hoping this remake will do for Star Wars, going forward? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And if you guys liked this video and you want me to do more, please like and subscribe. Follow me on my social media platforms such as Instagram and Twitter. And until the next time, peace.